And good evening and welcome to the Scanner Guys Live. I'm Jonathan Higgins. Tonight we're covering a unique topic about scanner audio, something that we haven't covered before on the Scanner Guys. So we're kind of taking a deep dive into that. So hopefully you're enjoying this evening, and we've got a great presentation for you. So let's take a look at some of the opening slides right now. As always, we want to make sure you follow, like, and subscribe to our social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at The Scanner Guys. And make sure you check out the website, thescannerguyshow.com. And you can check out our store, contact us, and sign up for our newsletter as well at our website. So a lot of great stuff right there. So definitely do that. We would very much appreciate that. So next show will be Train Aficionado Live. Last month we actually covered a pretty cool event that happened in Hamilton, Ohio. They basically moved this three-story building to a new location about 1,100 feet up the road. Now they're moving it away from the CSX right-of-way you can see here. Very great video, so definitely check that out on the Train Aficionado YouTube channel. Our next Train Aficionado show live is Wednesday, January the 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. If you're into trains or rail fanning, definitely subscribe to the channel. We would very much appreciate that. So this is our topic tonight, how to boost your scanner audio. So a lot of people wonder, I want to get better audio out of my scanner, or be able to hear it a little bit louder than you typically are able to do. So let's take a look at tonight's topic right now during our show here. So the speaker is definitely the best way to be able to boost your scanner audio. That is one of the best ways to be able to do that. So let's take a look at some of those options. So one of the smallest in the Uniden product line for speakers is the 3-inch external speaker. Its model number is BC7. It may be small, but it's a really good speaker. I really like it. I actually own one of those. It's on my desk right in front of me. It's compact and small. It has about a 6-foot cord, 3-inch size speaker, standard headphone jack. It's going to handle about 7 watts. And this is great for in the vehicle. If you're plugging this into a base mobile radio, I would not recommend this speaker for a portable. Anything portable wise, you need a amplified speaker. Amplified speaker is needed because you're connecting up to the headphone jack. The headphone jack actually has a resistor that reduces down the volume. Why is that? They don't want you to blow your eardrums when listening to your scanner through the headphone jack. So basically they reduce down the output power on the headphone jack. So that's definitely something that's really handy to be able to protect your hearing when you're using headphones. But the thing is when you use an external speaker, you need an amplified speaker in order to be able to hear that. We're going to dive into that a little bit more in detail in some upcoming slides. So this Uniden speaker, I would strongly recommend this to you if you've limited on space. Let's say in your vehicle or in your shack, you want a small little speaker to be able to kind of aim it in one particular direction. Let's say you have your base mobile sitting on your desk. So basically that speaker that's on the bottom is facing the desk, and you want to kind of put a speaker on here. This is a great option. This one I do not own, but it's one of the most affordable ones that are on Scanner Master's website. The Astatic 4-inch external speaker. It's basically able to carry about 10 watts. It has a 10-foot cord, I believe. I think that's a 10 inch is a typo there. and it includes a mounting bracket, which you can see there. So that's definitely a really nice speaker to be able to put in there. It takes up a little bit more space, but works really well with your scanner. Yet again, you want to use this on your scanner with the external audio jack speaker in the rear of the radio. We'll show you where that is in an upcoming slide. Favorite of mine is this one here. It's the Uniden Bearcat 4-inch external speaker. Graduating up a little bit more in price. It has a metal front plate with the Bearcat claw embedded into it. It's a rugged plastic. It has that U-shape mount. It has 10 feet of cord. It's able to support 15 watts of power. Works really well. I would recommend this if you're looking for something a little bit more beefier, a little bit more rugged. Yet again, it's not a powered speaker. So basically, external jack in the rear of your radio. Don't plug into a headphone jack. It's not gonna be able to boost that audio the way you want it. So that's certainly a great particular speaker that I would recommend. The model number on this one is the BC15, not to be confused with the BCT15X. This one's the BC15. Going up a little bit more in price, now we've reached the amplified speaker. So this is a Uniden 4-inch speaker. Yet again, rugged plastic exterior, has the metal speaker cover on it with the Bearcat paw embossed into it. Couple of great things about this. It has a noise blinker for clear audio. So you're able to press that button. It's able to clean up the audio. It also has a light that will display when audio is taking place. It's an amplified speaker. It has 8 watts of amplification, 10-foot coax cable, heavy-duty coax cable. It's an AWG 18-gauged cable. Yet again, same type of stereo plug that you've seen throughout the presentation. Plugs right into the external speaker jack, and this will plug in right into a in your vehicle. Plugs right into the breaker box, or not the breaker box, the fuse box, excuse me. So you can plug it in directly there, or you can get a cigarette lighter adapter. Basically, we'll have a positive and negative lead, and you'll just connect up those leads up to the speaker, and then you're able to plug it in to a cigarette lighter outlet. That's how I have it in my truck. So I actually have this speaker. The great thing about it, it also has on the side, it's a little bit hard to see on the left side, but it actually has a volume adjustment. Independent from the volume adjustment on the scanner, you have the ability to adjust the volume up or down, or turn the speaker completely off. So if you do have the scanner not right next to you, and you want to turn down the volume and the speaker's close to you, then what you can do is just scroll that down, and you can either lower the volume or scroll it all the way down, and it'll turn it off. So that's the great thing about this speaker. It's the Uniden Bearcat amplified external speaker, and the model number on this one is the BC 23A. A really good speaker. Yet again, it's got the U bracket on there for mounting, which is really great. So I highly recommend checking out this speaker as well. Got something for the portable. It's a bit pricey. This Scanner Blaster lapel speaker is heavy duty. It's got a rubber heavy duty protection on it. It's made of really strong plastic. Works really well. Actually has a 3-year warranty, and it's powered. Great thing about this speaker, you're able to use it on your portable radio, plug it right into the headphone jack. It's got the look and feel of the actual professional lapel mics. The thing that I would recommend with this, I actually own one of these, is when you're not using it, just pop the battery out. This prevents the battery from draining all the way out. Basically, when charging this lapel speaker, you're using the cable that comes with it and basically one of those USB wall warts. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, this lapel speaker is really good. I would highly recommend it. It's great for the scanner. It does have a large price tag on it, so it's not cheap, but it works really well. And it is a scanner blaster. It's nice and loud. You don't want to put your radio all the way up to full volume when doing this. You want to turn it down somewhat, so when you plug this in, it doesn't literally blast your eardrums out. It is really loud. So I strongly recommend this speaker. But I would definitely take a look at that. There is links throughout the description for all of these products that I mentioned so far. All right, let's continue on with the slideshow presentation here. Another for your portable radio, I would recommend is the listen-only earpiece. This is very much like a Secret Service type of look of an earpiece. You can see there's the little part that goes into your ear, and then of course you have the little clip there which would pin to the collar of your shirt, and then you would basically run the wire down to the portable, which could be put on your hip. The cord in total is 42 inches long. It's really neat little device. I've used this rail fanning on a train. I would strongly recommend using something like this if you're in the general public and you want to listen to your scanner. But yeah, this is certainly a really good thing for a portable radio, just like that lapel speaker. It's a lot more affordable too. It's not as expensive, but something like this would work really well. If you've got old, earbuds, wired earbuds, you can use something like that as well, which would work with your scanner also. But you can see here the listen only looks really cool. We also have some things that keeps your scanners quiet and so not boosting up your volume. This is a product that we've talked about before. It's a SpectrumForce speaker silencer. So basically what this does is it silences your scanner. So if you've got two-way radios or ham radio in your vehicle and you want to make your scanner audio go silent when you're transmitting on one of these devices, so whoever is on the other end of the radio can hear you without also hearing your scanner, you can set up one of these. So basically how this works is you see the green little wire there, that's basically the antenna. You're going to connect up an external speaker to your scanner, and the second that you transmit on that two-way radio, it will basically silence the speaker. So, while you're transmitting, the speaker will stay silent until you stop transmitting, and then the scanner audio will come through. Very simple setup here. Basically, you see the antenna, which is going to pick up your two-way radio reception. It's going to know that you're transmitting. It also has a speaker input and an output, so you're able to basically use this to silence your radio, which is really neat. So you could see there's an input way over, if we're looking at the diagram, way over on the left side, and then over on the right side there's going to be a plug that comes out of there that plugs into the back of the radio. So basically it's going to silence the radio, the scanner audio, and you could see that you can adjust the delay and sensitivity, And there's actually a manual that comes with this as well. But this is a really neat thing if you've got two-way radios that you transmit on, and you don't want the scanner audio coming over your two-way radio transmission when you're transmitting. What about Bluetooth? We get a lot of questions about this. A lot of scanners do not have Bluetooth, but there's a way around it. And let's take a look at what our options are for using Bluetooth, how to boost your audio. So this is something that I've done here. Basically, I purchased one of these Bluetooth transmitter receivers, which you can see over on the far right. This Bluetooth transmitter receiver, I have a link to it in the description. Goes for about $30. It's not terribly expensive. It can be powered all the time by a USB cable, or, of course, you can run it off a battery as well. It has an internal battery. So what you want to do is you want to do the Bluetooth transmit on there, and then get any Bluetooth speakers, such as this Anker speaker that you could see there. You could see it right there. The Anker speaker has basically volume up and down. Of course, it has its own power button. And the great thing about the Anker speaker, it can be portable as well. So if you have the Anker speaker, you can put it pretty much in any room in your home. This is the current setup I have. I basically have this Bluetooth transmitter receiver, and I actually have this Anker speaker. So I'm able to have a scanner that's connected up in my shack, and I'm able to listen to that audio pretty much anywhere in the house. Believe it or not, the Bluetooth range is pretty decent. So I would strongly recommend, doing something like this. If you've got a scanner that's connected up to a rooftop antenna, but unfortunately you're not able to put rooftop antenna drops in other locations in the house, then you just can do this and be portable with your Bluetooth speaker. How do you wire this up? It's relatively simple. Basically, how I have it done is through the record jack. So why the record jack? So basically, the record jack sends out audio of your scanner at a steady level. So basically, it's not going to be too loud or too low. It's going to be right perfect. So I connect that up to the record jack. But the trick of this is for each channel or talk group that's programmed in for your radio. You have to have record on those particular channels, or it won't feed that audio through the rear of that jack. Basically, if you don't have record on those channels or talk groups, it's not going to send it out that jack. So definitely keep that in mind there. Remember I was talking about all the external speakers? You're going to connect up to the external speaker jack in the rear of the radio. Somebody asked about whether or not this would work with an STS-200. If there's not a record jack in the rear of that radio, so you'd have to use the external speaker jack. The external speaker jack is going to be the volume on the scanner itself. So you're going to have to adjust that volume and put it so you're able to have it in one position, and it's not going to be over-modulated when it goes through your Bluetooth speaker. So yes, it will. Record jacks are available on something like the BCT15, the 996 P2, any of the older versions of the 996 or 15, it will work on that as well. The record jack does not, if you're using the record jack, does not affect the audio on the scanner. So you can ride that volume up or down. So let's say we're in the room right now where the scanner is located. So I can actually turn this radio up like I am right now, and it has no effect when I turn this down on the record jack. So basically I've turned that radio down. If I had the Bluetooth speaker on in the other room, that audio is going to stay exactly the same. So the thing when you're using this, you have to leave the scanner on And then if you've got the volume all the way down on this radio, that's fine. It's going to have independent volume on the Anker speaker. So you're going to be able to turn it up or down there. Hopefully that all makes sense. So typically what I do with a scanner like this, I have a 15X in front of me. So basically I have it fed through the audio, the record jack, and then basically set to record. But yeah, I mean, this is really neat to be able to use something like this, and it's not terribly expensive. A lot of us have Bluetooth speakers laying around throughout the house. The only thing that I would recommend is one of these Bluetooth transmitter receivers, about $30, and then it'll work great. SDS100, Chris, it will work with that. Keep in mind, you have to keep in mind that the you're going to be connecting up to the headphone jack. So that resistor is going to reduce down volume. So you may have to boost up your audio volume on your Bluetooth speaker a little bit more than you would have for the base one. The other thing too is you want to do some adjustment when you're connecting this up. Make sure you're not over modulated as well. So it's kind of getting it right in that perfect spot. With the SDS 100, excuse me, you don't want to have it all the way up to 15. Probably right around 10 or so, and then adjust from there. So you get good audio on the Bluetooth speaker. But yes, you could do this with a portable radio as well. With an amplified, of course, the Bluetooth speaker is amplified, so it's definitely going to bring up that volume. Keeping neat. So with adding speakers, it adds more cables and such. So you want to keep neat and clean, especially if this is for your shack. And of course, surprise, surprise, the Velcro brand makes an appearance during the show. Those of you that are avid watchers of the show, the Velcro brand is what we talk about for keeping those cables nice and neat. Basically, you would put one of these on and then wrap your cable and then use the Velcro to keep it all together, as you can see in the photograph there. And these typically can be found at your home center, probably right around $6 or $7, and they come in a 50-pack. So definitely have some of these laying around. They're great for being able to keep your programming cables nice and tidy, or even tidying up some of the cables and power adapter cords at your shack. So these certainly are really handy. We highly recommend it. These are 8-inch by 1-inch reusable ties, 50 in a pack. Velcro doesn't pay us anything, but I swear by these. These are great. So definitely keep that in mind. All right, let's go over to some of your questions and comments. So let's go there and kind of take a look at some of the things that came in. Robert mentions that he keeps his volume right around 75% with the SDS when using Bluetooth. Exactly. You don't want to, have it extremely all the way up to 100%. You want to basically have it in that sweet spot so you're getting decent audio. You don't want to be blasting. Chris asked whether or not it would work with his SDS 100. We certainly addressed that. Do not hear the tones. That I'm not too sure. When you're plugging into the headphone jack, you don't hear the tone when any keys are pressed. Does anyone know why that happens? I haven't used the headphone jack on my SDS to be able to verify that. I typically turn off the tones, the beeps, when pressing the buttons. I don't like hearing the beeps all the time. So what I've done is I go into the settings and turn off those typically. So even if I did use the headphone jack, I want to hear those beeps anyway. Yes, you could definitely do that. Treat it like any other input to any other device that you would. You remember back in the day, you know, some people would have a sound system, and they would have a little CD player back in the day, and they would plug in an audio cable from that CD player to the sound system. You could do that. Of course, you can do that with a scanner. Keep in mind that, you know, you could do that with a portable radio because it's an amplified system. With portable radios, you need amplified speakers. Now, for your home, we kind of showed what you could do in the vehicle with the Uniden amplified speaker. You can get a pair of computer speakers as well. So that's a very affordable option. As long as they're amplified, you can plug it into that SDS 100 or the 436 or the 325P2. The great thing about it, it's amplified, and you can reduce down that volume a little bit. So if you are running it while it's plugged into those speakers on batteries, it's not going to run down the batteries as much. But since it's inside, I would recommend plugging it in. You know, why waste the battery? Yes, great question, Radio 80. Some of those ones that are on Amazon, you can pair them up to multiple speakers, not transmitting at the same time, but you can alternate in between speaker 1 and speaker 2. That company that I showed you, I'll show that slide again. That same manufacturer actually has another version of this here, of this 1MII Bluetooth transmitter receiver. It has a preset 1 and a preset 2. So you have the ability to program, you know, device 1 and device 2. You just have to toggle in between the two. But yeah, you have the ability to do that. I noticed that a lot of people are using these Bluetooth transmitter receivers for a lot of things. So that's certainly something that can be done. You may have to spend a couple more dollars on one of those transmitters, but yeah, you can definitely do that as well. That's a good one. And I totally agree with you there with running it through your stereo system. With those EMS alerts, they could certainly knock out your eardrums, that's for sure. Anytime when the fire department tones out or anything, it's usually relatively loud, and it's meant to be loud to get your attention, that's for sure. Any other questions about speakers? I know we covered quite a bit. All the stuff that we've talked about tonight during the presentations actually in the description down below. So you can click on any of those links. Any of the ones that are from ScannerMaster already include our affiliate link, which we do get a small percentage of the sale. So we appreciate that if you're interested in any one of those speakers or any of those devices we talked about tonight. Of course, it's subject to stock, so definitely if it's not in stock, there's a way to be able to add yourself to the list, and you'll be emailed as soon as it's available, and then you'll be able to place the order that way. How does one basically measure the output termination of the scanner? That I'm not sure. I'm not able to answer that one, Chris. That's a question a little bit above my head. Maybe somebody else in the audience can kind of chime in on that particular question. Yeah, we definitely can certainly look at doing something like that. I could definitely do some research on that and definitely see if we can do a show for that. This is something that a lot of people will do, just like what Joe Bearcat said, is using two speakers. Having one speaker, the left audio channel be one scanner and the right audio channel being the other. Now, the great thing about that is you'll get used to it, knowing that audio coming from this side of the room is coming from scanner number 1, and audio coming from this side of the room is coming from scanner number 2. So you get kind of used to that as well. The other thing that I typically do when running multiple scanners like this is the primary radio, I'll have that volume up a little bit more. And then on my secondary radio, I'll have the volume turned down a little bit lower. I'm able to still hear it, but it's not as loud as the radio that I'm focused on. So if I hear something interesting on the lower radio, I can just turn up the volume here. So that's the great thing about, running multiple scanners. You can kind of adjust volume as well. External speakers are helpful, like I mentioned. Putting scanner speakers in different places in the room allows you to be able to know that coming from the left or coming from the right, what scanner it's coming from. So there's a whole bunch of different tricks when it comes to scanner audio. I mean, I've seen some people run their scanners through an audio mixer, and they have like speakers connected up to that, so they can kind of ride up and down on the volume of the particular radios, pot up a scanner that they really want to monitor at the moment, and then turn it back down, and then adjust the other radios accordingly. So there's all types of things that you can do. You can do with a scanner, that's for sure. So when hunting for scanner frequencies, I had a question about when DMR shows up, it displays. It should display DMR, and then it typically will show the color code on there with DMR. So it'll display that as long as you have it turned on to search it. But yeah, I mean, frequency hunting is a lot of fun to be able to do with your scanner. Highly recommend it, especially for looking for new frequencies. There's still a lot of people using conventional, analog conventional, and digital conventional. The cool thing nowadays to be able to do is using it for finding new talk groups on the scanner. So let's say you're monitoring a trunk system and you want to try to find new talk groups. You have the ability to do that. Run it in a ID search rather than ID scan, and you may find something that's not listed on radio reference. If you did program, let's say it's a smaller trunk system, and you program in all the talk groups that are on that particular system, and then anything that would come up wouldn't have a talk group connected to it. So then you would know, this is something that's not listed on radio reference. This is very handy when monitoring a small regional trunk system versus one of those statewide trunk systems where you can have hundreds upon hundreds of talk groups. I get that question, Roger, all the time about this antenna here. This is an 800 megahertz antenna, no longer manufactured. It was an omnidirectional antenna that Scanner Master actually carried for a good period of time. It worked really well. I mean, this was an alternate antenna versus the beam antennas, which are very familiar with. The beam antenna is directional, basically like the old television antennas. You aim it in the direction of where you want to pick up. With this one here, it's an omnidirectional, so it's able to pick up signals from all directions. This antenna, I don't remember who the manufacturer was, but they are no longer producing the antenna anymore, so I'm lucky enough to have one of these. Basically, I have it connected up to my 800 megahertz scanners that are here in the office, the ones that I dedicated to that particular band, and it's connected right here. And then, of course, I do have an antenna that's out on the roof that covers a wide band, and that works pretty well as well. But yeah, I wish this antenna was still manufactured, because I recommended that one a ton when I was working at Scanner Master. But yeah, certainly a lot of great questions and comments coming up tonight. We've got a lot of great things planned for the new year, so definitely I thank you so much for joining us. And if you noticed, we're a little bit more clear and sharper. We're now streaming out to YouTube in 4K, which is great. You can hear one of the police departments around here that's connected up to that particular antenna. I think that's going to wrap it up. I think I've answered all the questions that have came in this evening. As always, you can reach us through the website as well. Let me go through a couple of slides before we wrap up things. If anybody's got a last-minute question, certainly you can post it in the comments, and we'll look back before we wrap up things with the show. So let me just go into here and take a look. So, of course, the Scanner Guys are always brought to you by viewers like you. Shopping the Scanner Guys merch store at scannerguys.com. You certainly help out the show by purchasing a hoodie or a t-shirt or sweatshirt or a sticker or one of the travel mugs. So definitely visit the website. thescannerguyshow.com is the website. And of course, if you place any orders through ScannerMaster, we have an affiliate link down below, right down on the product description, actually the video description, excuse me, where you can click that and you can purchase stuff through the website, and we get a little proceeds of the sales that you purchase through ScannerMaster. As always, on the first Wednesday and third Wednesday is Train Aficionado Live. So the next show will be actually January the 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, right there on the Train Aficionado YouTube channel. The next Scanner Guys show, we haven't decided on the topic, but it'll be Wednesday, January the 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Definitely check out our next show. And of course, we are really excited about, continuing to do more shows in the future and more special events as well. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to our social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at The Scanner Guys. And our website is thescannerguyshow.com. You can shop our store by supporting our store. You're, of course, supporting us through the store. You can also contact us through the website and sign up for our newsletter as well. Just go back in. I saw a couple of questions that came in while I was talking there, so let me just go back to here. Austin Antenna, as far as I know, they're still in business. They've had some supply chain issues, just like everyone else in the industries. As far as I know, I haven't heard anything different from them. I've emailed the gentleman that runs the company not too long ago, so I haven't heard anything regarding that. What is the best way to program a trunk system using Sentinel software, but you only want specific sites? I've tried a couple of different ways, but it always includes all sites. So the trick of it, I've done a video on this channel for the Sentinel software that you can certainly check out. Let me see if that improves the video there. Which you can check out on the YouTube channel. And basically what I've done is I've imported in all of the sites. And then this, hold on one second. I'm trying to get this to balance. There we go. Okay. The blurriness, I'm not too sure, my camera wasn't able to catch it. So basically the way to do it is you import in the trunks, the talk groups of that system that you want. Once you've got it imported into a favorites list, you're going to go into the sites and you're going to remove them out. You're basically going to remove from favorites list. So you're going to select those sites that you don't want and remove it out. If you watch the video on the how to operate the Sentinel software, it's going to make a lot more sense. So definitely check that out. It's right here on the YouTube channel. But basically, you're going to import in that particular system and talk groups. And then once that's done, you're going to remove out the other sites and only keep the sites that you want. Make sure you don't remove the talk groups while you're at it. Just keep those talk groups there. The other question I had, have I done a show about ProScan? I just recently purchased ProScan and I'm getting familiar with it. So that may be something that we may want to do in the future. ProScan seems really neat. I've actually used it for searching out frequencies, and the virtual control is pretty cool as well. It looks just like the scanner, so it looks really neat. So yeah, I need to mess with ProScan a little bit more, but maybe at some point we can do kind of like a tour around ProScan. But yeah, I would strongly recommend that. But that Sentinel video that we've done right here on the YouTube channel is certainly a great show to watch. Basically, I go through, creating a favorites list, updating the database, updating firmware. So give you a basic rundown of everything that you can do with the Sentinel software. The other thing that I've done as well is another video about ARC-XT. Most of us have a lot of Uniden radios, such as the 15X or the 996. And basically, I did an XT software video with Butel for you to be able to check out. How would I replace the ribbons? Oh, I know what you mean. The 895 base station. Oh, I love the 895. I don't have any of those anymore. That I'm not too sure. So you're looking to replace those. A gentleman that you may want to reach out to is G&G Communications. It's a gentleman that has a repair shop, so if you're not able to do it, he should be able to do it. And then if you may be able to reach out to him just with general questions, tell him that you do have one of those and you're looking for some help just being able to replace those ribbons. He may be able to help you as well. So G&G Communications. I believe you can just Google that and you might be able to find some information, how to contact him. But definitely a good source. I'm not too sure if Uniden Repair would do anything with the scanner that old. But, G&G, when all else fails, certainly is a huge help with that as well. I'm just trying to see if there's any other questions before we wrap it up this evening. ProScan, yeah, I saw another thing about ProScan. Looks really nice with the SDS 200. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it definitely, the virtual screens look really nice on all of the radios that I was able to hook up to it, and I need to kind of play with it a little bit more. I started messing with it. I actually have had it for a couple of months, and I'm hoping to get a little bit more familiar with it. Other than that, we're plugging away right here. But yeah, definitely, if you've got any questions or comments, certainly if you weren't able to post them in the live show, you of course can post it in the comments below this video. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel as well. I thank you so much this evening for joining us. I hope that you have a great rest of your night, and we'll catch you again next week for Train Aficionado Live, and then we'll wrap up things at the end of the month for the second episode of 2023 for the Scanner Guys. So I'm Jonathan Higgins. Be safe out there and have a great evening.